If you're new here, hi, what's up? My name is Kandice and I'm your spiritual self-love guide, helping you really connect to yourself utilizing the tools such as tarot, astrology, and practicing your own internal practices is going to help internalize your own growth. With today's video, I'm actually going to be sharing with you some of February's insights that I've been getting in regards to the planetaries up above. I'm also going to be doing a collective tarot reading in regards to the energy that we're all going to be embracing into the month of February. Not only that, but I'm also going to provide rituals regarding the 4 elements that will help you kind of connect to that. And of course, there wouldn't be a video if I didn't sprinkle in a little bit of self-love into this. With that all being said, sit back, get your notebook because we have a lot to talk about and I want to get you guys set up for the month of February. Before we actually dive into the astrology, I want to just preface and let you guys know that I'm going to be doing this off of Sidereal Astrology and not tropical astrology. If you need to know why I'm using Sidereal Astrology instead of tropical astrology, I've explained this in different videos in my channel in regards to how I connect to astrology and how I see my day-to-day structure by utilizing sidereal than tropical. Now, looking through the lens of sidereal astrology, we actually do have a lot of things going on for us in the month of February. So there's a couple transits that I definitely want to make sure that you guys are aware of and that you have some kind of insight on how to really navigate during these transits. As the planets above are doing their thing, it will affect us here down on Earth. The first transit that I want to talk about is Venus going into the sign of Aquarius. We then also have the full moon in Cancer. On top of that, we also have Mercury entering in the sign of Capricorn, a new moon in Capricorn, and then also we have the sun being conjunct to Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. Now, if you've been following me for a while on social media, or if you've just been diving into astrology in general, you know that Venus is kind of the energy of creating your abundance, your sensuality, your empowerment, the way that you want to be loved and receive from love, the way that you express your sexual aesthetics, if you will. As Venus is a feminine energy, it's a feminine planet. And so when it is entering in the sign of Aquarius, that will be happening on February 5th, there is going to be a lot of different things going around this particular energy. Now, as I mentioned, Venus enters in Aquarius on February 5th, and these are going to be themes that are going to be related to the following: freedom in your relationships, innovative communications, and also connections with other people, and just overall a sense of collective love, a sense of collective harmony, a collective sense of change. Aquarius is going to be the zodiac sign that's going to place a lot of different nuances that's going to require us humans to really change the way that we are viewing how our life has been in the last couple years, months, days, even minutes. Aquarius is the zodiac sign that is about innovation, community, standing up for those who are getting belittled, really taking a chance and embracing your weirdness. And when it is kind of mixing in with the energy of Venus, it really is going to call for individuality, but then also connectedness, being able to really build up on something that was probably really traumatic and really coming out on the other side of how to really view the thing that you just experienced. To me, this energy really is going to be talking about how to embrace your own type of personality, your own type of freedom. You're basically creating a individuality within your partnerships. Coming from someone who is a Libra moon, where that anxious attachment style or just wanting to be near people, because Libra rules the 7th house, that's partnerships. For me, it was really hard to really understand, like, that's my partner's life and I have to have my own life. But when we come together, we have our own lives that really do mesh well together, right? As we are a couple. And so this transit is really going to help kind of boost that up for us. It's going to help us understand that it's okay to be our individual in a relationship. Doesn't necessarily mean that this relationship needs to end or that you need to not share certain things with your partner. It just means that you're creating and having a healthy boundary within yourself, within your relationships of like, this is what I do for me, this is what I do for us. These two things can intersect, but ultimately I'm creating something that's really going to help me. And honestly, if I'm coming from my own self, if I'm healing and I'm in that journey of self-love and taking care of me, I have to take care of me first before I can take care of somebody else. And so that just really ties into the energy of we really are coming together in this place of like finding ourselves within our relationships, but then when we are finding ourselves within our own relationship, that kind of love and that attention is just going to expand. And it's going to expand, in my feeling, into like more creative projects, things that are actually going to obtain to your abundance, your highest form of abundance. Um, Receiving and attracting and aligning to certain people that are going to help elevate the things that you are asking and wanting to kind of create into this reality. So I honestly really do believe that this energy between Venus entering Aquarius on February 5th is really going to help set the tone. So the first thing I really want you guys to do is I really want you guys to start connecting to people that are outside of your group. These could be people that are maybe something to do with like TikTok ban, maybe it's political, maybe it's more of a spiritual aspect. You're trying to connect to people that are going to help elevate it. And if they come into your life, if opportunities come into your space, if there are people who want to amplify what you're talking about, let them. Allow that flow, that energy to come in, because again, this is just you connecting to different groups of people as you are tending to your own needs and tending to your own self-love. The second thing I want you guys to do is that if you are in a relationship, have you even spoken to your partner about your future? About what does it mean for the both of us to be together? Do you guys see each other together? Especially what's going on with the world. Do you want to have kids? Do you want to live somewhere else? Do you want to go somewhere else? What are the goals that you are intuitively connecting to? And I want you to be able to express that with your partner. Now, if you're not with anyone, that's quite all right as well. This can also go to your best friend, a family member, anyone really that you consider a family or someone that you have a deep relationship with. I say, why not communicate those things and try to figure out how you can either A, build upon that, or B, allow yourself to like come to this natural thing with the person that you have feelings for, or the person you have love for, and see where those goals kind of mesh together. If they don't, then that kind of says something to you about moving forward. But if it does mesh well and this person is encouraging and they want to build with you or build what you're thinking and feeling, you're on the right track. And the third thing I really want you guys to really do during this transit is just to really embrace your different forms of hobbies, but then also like your creativity and your endeavors and your pursuits. We are going to be, as we keep talking, as the transits that go on in February, there's a lot of Capricorn, Saturn, Aquarius, and Venusian energy, which to me, when you mix all those things together, it is creative endeavors. It is really setting the tone and being structured and being, on your shit, on your Zoom, being consistent. It really is saying about embracing the weirdness and the uniqueness that you embody and creating something out of that, embracing that, and really establishing something within yourself regarding that. So I really do feel like this transit in Venus is going to help you out. So try those three things. If those things help you out, please let me know in the comments down below. Or if you do tend or thinking about doing it, let's talk about how we can amplify your energy during this Venus transit. Now, leading up to this, on February 9th, we have the full moon in Cancer. Now, this is going to be just automatically, without even diving into like the specifics, it is going to be a very emotionally purging, releasing, kind of like setting the tone in regards to your own emotional needs, your family needs, and honestly, you just kind of coming up and saying what you need to say and then emotionally feeling better about it. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon loves being in this space. The moon loves being in its feminine energy as well as the Cancer energy. There is a very sense and heightened dynamic of emotional release, nurturing yourself, kind of giving yourself what you want someone else to give you, a mother figure, a female figure, and also just really allowing yourself to be in your home and creating a home that feels good to you, a home that you feel safe in, a home that you feel freely, that you can express yourself. So this is going to be a transit that really is going to heighten your own emotional needs and where you see yourself moving forward. It definitely is going to actually also focus on your inner feelings, your inner child, your inner security, your inner safety net, if you will. You know what I mean? Like it's going to ask you to kind of go inward to figure out what those things are specifically. And also, just a little bit related to this, the Cancer rules the fourth house, and the fourth house is family dynamics. It is feminine energy. It is the past. It's the subconscious things. So this energy of the full moon is really going to help heighten, and I really mean heighten. Okay, it is going to heighten and help you understand what is the emotional baggage and the connections that you have with your loved ones. How are those things to relate, and what can I let go, but then what also can I learn from this thing from an emotional aspect? Let's not also forget the full moon is about releasing. Now, you can do rituals during the full moon. I honestly feel like the energy is energy, so it's how you manipulate it to your advantage, with good intentions. But also at the same time, the full moon is a great time for you to self reflect. It is a time to it's a, it's a perfect time for you to spend time with yourself to figure out in your own home, in your own nest, what is working for you emotionally and what is not working for you emotionally. How can you build how can you build upon something that you know that is not working, letting it go, and then being able to feel free enough to move forward in those emotions, feeling healed and connected enough to move forward from those emotions. So, here are my 3 tips that I would love for you guys to try during this full moon and Cancer. Is one, I would love for you guys to just journal about your own emotional needs. What are the needs that you need? Are these needs being actually met? Are you relying to your family to provide those actual needs? Or are you listening to yourself, your own feminine energy, your own map in regards to what your own needs are? The second thing that I would love for you guys to do is just pretty much let yourself create a cozy space in your own nest, in your own home, in your own shell. Cancers have that shell, and when they are scared, they go inward. They don't like to really be fighting and doing all these things, especially if they know that a bigger predator is kind of disrupting their own feeling and how they're navigating throughout their day. So going inward, right? How does your home feel? Is your home cozy? Are those things out there that is your security feeling, like a security pillow, a blanket? You have your comfort food like noodles. Maybe you want some pho. Maybe you want some Indian. Like, what is the vibe that you need for you to feel good within your own home, to feel safe and secure? Create that vibe for yourself during this full moon in Cancer. And man, this last tip may be very hard for you guys to do, but it's actually really powering, and honestly, it's allowing you to take the reins and control of a lot of things that you may be going through, that you may be feeling during this time, during this transit. And it really is about forgiving others and also forgiving yourself. One thing that I've learned is that when you are harboring negative energy towards someone or something that they may have done to you, and you're still processing it, you're still being fueled. Your immediate responses is negative. Your immediate responses is to defend. Your immediate response is to do one of these. Then there's a lot of healing there. That's a trigger for you that you need to pause and allow yourself to really give yourself that grace to figure out like what exactly happened and how can I let go of this so I'm not being triggered and I'm not feeling like it's always my fault. Forgiving others for things that they may not really know or can't even understand. Now, this goes into play of people who are not healed and people who are not on their own journey. You can't, you know, you can bring the water to the camel, but you can't force the camel to drink the water, right? And so, if you know that a lot of the people in your life, especially if they're family related, if they cannot see you or hear you or feel empathy for your own emotions and the things that you've gone through, and you've repeated this over time, then there is a reason why you need to kind of learn to step back and say, you know what? It is what it is. I can love you from afar, but you truly don't give a shit. And because I can realize that, I can then now allow myself to move forward. I can now allow myself to not be so angry with you because now I know. And I have to be able to forgive and let go. Now, as I said, this is pretty much the hardest thing that a lot of us can do, especially too if we have that inner critic in our mind. Let's just take this into an inward way of forgiving ourselves. If we do not have a healthy way of expressing our own insecurities or our own ways of things happening and not going in our favor, if we do not have a way to healthily communicate that and not let ourselves subconsciously, while cautiously blaming ourselves, we need to be able to learn to forgive us. Life is life. Things happen. Shits and giggles. It's not our fault, especially if it pertains to someone else. It takes two to tango in everything in regards to someone else being related to it, right? And so the only thing that you can do, confirmation burp, the only thing that you can do, my love, is really looking at yourself and saying, am I talking to myself mean? Confirmation burp. And if I am talking to myself mean, where the fuck did that even come from? I never said that to myself. And that's going to lead you down a road of really understanding like other people have influence or have put their own projections onto you in regards to who you are, that you have now cautiously and subconsciously have gathered that negative thought and put it in your own brain. And that is something that you have been repeating. So if you're going through this process and you're noticing that not only are there other people that you need to practice on forgiveness, but also yourself, because things happen and you don't need to have that critical mind in your head, this is a perfect time for you to kind of change the way that you speak to yourself and give that forgiveness that you have wished someone else would give you, or that you wish that you would receive that from someone else. Give it to yourself first. Okay, so the third transit that I want to talk about that's entering in the month of February is Mercury is actually going to be in the sign of Capricorn on February 13th. Now, I honestly my chart ruler is Mercury. And so whenever I think about Mercury, whenever I think about the mind, hence me having that mind series for you guys, it really just sets the tone. Your mind frame, this brain sets the mindset for you throughout your day. It sets the tone for your subconscious and conscious mindset and the thoughts and emotions that go through it. And, you know, Mercury in itself is a planet that is technology. It is communication. It is your thoughts. It is the innuendos a little bit, but it's also the precision and like speaking those things out into existence and being able to feel comfortable with that said existence that you're saying. So when it's entering in the sign of Capricorn, who is ruled by Saturn, okay, it is strict. It is hardworking. It is really setting the tone and saying, this is it. And I'm going to be really disciplined in regards to what's moving forward. And so with that being said, the themes for this transit on February 13th really is about practical thinking. And practical thinking meaning because Capricorn is a earth sign and it is the third element in the earth sign. Capricorn is a hard-working motherfucking zodiac sign. It likes its coin. It likes its money. It likes its luxury and comfort. It likes to see how the progression of the hard work and the consistency, it likes to see where these things are coming from, what they received from it, was it actually beneficial? Capricorn is a very strategic type of zodiac sign. And so this is really going to provide us with having a more critical thinking with how we are perceiving more communication, which goes into my next topic. It is a structured communication. During this time, you may notice that your words may be more articulate. They may be more set in stone. They may be more specific. And you may be expressing yourself or wanting someone else to express to you in a way that is a little bit more structured. And the third one, as I mentioned before, really is about just having a discipline. And this discipline can be in the things that you want to learn about, a hobby, a creative thing that you want to build and create money on. This can be in regards to how you set yourself up for school. Maybe the next couple weeks, there's going to be a big test. And so you want to change the way that you are actually studying and learning the said topics in school. So the themes and the energy that's going to be happening around February 13th really is about the way that you are critically thinking with your own mind and those internal thoughts. It's also about how you are going to have that structured communication with yourself or other people. And then on top of that, just different forms of like way of living and learning. This would be a great time for you to really just set yourself up for success by grounding and staying focused on tangible things that you can actually see. I think that's gonna probably be like my best advice for this transit, but then also like how you want to set your long-term goals. Okay, let's just think about this. If we are grounded and we're focused and we're allowing this critical thinking and we're really connected to our pursuits that we want to do, right? This is going to require that we stay focused and we stay humble. And we only focus on things that we want to focus on. Period, point blank. We're not focusing on anything else, other people. If it doesn't bring us abundance, if it doesn't bring us happiness, why are we focused on it? We should be focused on the things, the tangible things that we can actually see growth in. And during this transit, if we are seeing growth within that, then that means that we should also see the potential long-term goals that come with it. The things that are going to help us elevate and scale this thing that we're trying to create and or develop, right? So there's this real sense of like really seeing focus and allowing that tangible groundingness to really be in the energy of how we are aligning to our goals and the things that we want to create for ourselves in this reality. Now, my advice for you guys for sure is going to be writing out some steps and some goals. It's always good to kind of get these thoughts up here out on paper. At least it does for me as a Virgo rising. I don't know. But like once you are getting those thoughts that are constantly up in here, or you're talking about the things that are constantly up in here, it helps free room up in here. Also, when you're writing these things out, it can be however you need it to be. It could be in the form of list, it could be in the form of steps, it could be in the form of action things that you need to do. It can be in the form of like, I just want to do this and I just need to research that and let that be. However you need to write it, I'm going to say you just need to write it down so you don't forget. If you can't write it down, use your phone. You can also use your voicemail memos if you need to sit down and talk about it instead of writing it. There's so many different ways that you can communicate it, but just communicate it outward is what I'm saying. Don't have it be stuck in here inward. I need you to have it like explained outward for yourself. My second advice for you is to focus on the actual facts. Don't let your emotion get involved. There's no need for your emotions coming up, okay? If we are processing and going through things since the full moon in Cancer that we just talked about, a week later, we should be having a more concise way of wanting to talk and wanting to express ourselves. So in this mindset, I need you guys to be a little bit more cutthroat. Say what you need to say, do that, have your actions meet what's actually coming through, and be serious about it. If it's not something serious that you don't feel connected to, then literally, I heard why bother. Exactly. My tip number 3, take your time to organize your life, digital wise and or in your tangible space, your workspace. Especially if you're going to be creating something and taking steps to actually build something and do something for yourself that's actually going to grow, right? This is King of Pentacles energy with this Capricorn. So if you're really going to take a stance and be on top of your shit, then you need to be on top of your shit, baby, which means organize, which means making sure that you are taking care of how things are going to be set up for yourself. If you need help with writing it down and what you need to do that. If you need assistance from somebody else and getting advice, do that. But take care of yourself. Be organized about what you're doing and how it's coming about. The next transit I want to talk about is the new moon in Capricorn. The themes around this is going to be manifesting stability, career goals, and long-term success. If we're taking what we just learned about the Capricorn being in Mercury and we're understanding that this is what we're working with, well, the new moon in Capricorn is going to say, okay, now that we know what we're communicating and what we're critically thinking about what we want to manifest, let's manifest that bitch. We literally get a week later of saying, let's manifest. Let's create. Let's actually build and make this thing happen. Let's use our magic and actually have this thing happen for us. This is going to be an ideal time for you to set new intentions on the things that you want to create. And this could be in regards to your career, your finances, your own home, kind of honestly just like overall stability, if I'm going to be honest with you. This new moon in Cancer is actually a great time for you to be planting your seeds, kind of getting the roadmap of how you want this thing to create. Again, if we're taking from the energy that we just took of us really understanding what we want in the set of our mind being in Capricorn, then how can we then set those intentions and actually implement those moving forward with the new moon in Capricorn? The other thing that I want you guys to try to do is to create a small daily habit that goes in correlation to that said goal. So let's just say that your goal is to be a little bit more financial responsible, right? What you could do as a small goal is to, one, you can have your bank account automatically remove a certain amount of money from your said paycheck so that you don't have to worry about it. You know it's going to a different account. That's going to be your money for saving for whatever it is that you need to save, right? That is one way of taking a small step that's going to help you achieve your long-term goal. Whatever it is that you're going to do, that small little step is going to equal out to the long term. And the third thing I want you guys to kind of just lean into is specifically, what does the word success mean to you? Hint, it's not ever going to be a tangible thing. It is going to be an emotional thing. What does the word success mean to you? And if you can have an honest conversation with yourself on what success means, you are going to have an easier time with actually obtaining that said success. So the last transit I want to talk to you guys is going to be happening on February 24th. And this is going to be the transit that honestly may require a little bit of uniqueness from you, but it's a good way to kind of push us into the new season. And this is going to be, the sun is going to be conjuncting Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. Now, the sun, this is the thing that radiates, is the largest, brightest masculine energy that we got in our solar system right now. We've kind of already talked about Aquarius, but Saturn, right? Saturn is a tough motherfucker. I like to tell people that Saturn is kind of like going to college to get your PhD. Saturn's going to be like, you went to school all the way up to here and you're still acting like that. You're still connecting and aligning to certain things. You're still doing that. That's why I feel like Saturn, if Saturn was a person, be like, did you really think that was gonna work? Did you really think like that was a place or thing that was for you? How did you not see that lesson a long time ago? That lesson happened like, years ago, and you're still doing it. That's how Saturn is. Saturn is the hardest teacher, in my opinion, in astrology. It is tough. It doesn't care. It is masculine. It is old. It is structured. It is a hard teacher. And so, with this entering in, or it's conjunct to the sun, this is really saying a lot about amplifying certain leadership. And what type of leadership does that mean? And if the leadership is this, then how can I contribute to a larger cause? What is my larger contribution to the said thing? This energy is a lot about responsibility, and responsibility within ourselves, but then most importantly within our community. How are we standing up as a leader for our people, for my people? And your community is however you want to see your community. We all have different communities, right? We may have a white community. We may have an LGBT plus Q community. We may have a community for ADHD. We may have a community for astrology, right? Like we have different communities with different people that we bond with. And so how are we going to share and focus the responsibility in regards to our community? How can we provide solutions? That's what this energy is really providing. How can we provide solutions? And if we're providing solutions, then these solutions should be related to accountability. It should be related to leadership. And this should be something that's going to help build the collective over time. It's going to help set the tone for our collective in the long-term goal. Okay. Now, some of the tips that I think is going to be really crucial for us to kind of go into, and I'm only saying crucial just because of what's going on with Earth and the United States, and how there's wars, and how there is separation, and how there are people that are not coming together. They don't really see the larger picture. They don't really want to contribute because it's not their problem, or they'll deal with it later. And so this is really calling and saying to us like, yo, we need to really change the way that we are showing up so that our community can actually be put in a good place or set a tone for us in a good place. So, with that being said, my top three advice or tips would be: one, are you volunteering and contributing to that said community? Are you actually showing up? Do you know what that community needs? Do you know what that community is craving for? Are you showing up? The second thing that I want you guys to do is reassess the type of boundaries that you may have between not only yourself, but then also your professional responsibilities. Sometimes, because it's a corporation and a business, and also because, this thing that's not real controls everything here in this world. So if we are having to go beyond what our professional responsibilities are, and we're having to break our own personal boundaries for a business, why? It kind of is screaming like, what is that? Like, what is the difference between the personal and professional responsibilities? And it really is saying about yourself, because again, if you're a soul, if you're having a reflection about yourself in this masculine way, because it is very masculine, it is very much masculine with the sun, Saturn, and Aquarius, masculine. So if you're coming from a space of not knowing how you are masculating your masculine energy is with your own personal boundaries, let alone your masculine with your professional boundaries, and how that may have a discord between how you can be able to show for your community, says and will speak volumes. So check yourself and reassess those things. The third thing that I would like for you guys to do is really just having a very disciplined way of creating and developing and strengthening your self-love. This is going to be a self-love channel. This will always be a self-love channel. I have found ways to find me and love me through eating healthy, by using tarot, by having spirituality, by understanding my mind, and really having a discipline of learning about myself. So much to where I'm taking different aspects and different activities and different ways to connect to build my love that I have within me. And so when you are developing and embracing and creating a structure for yourself in regards to your own community and having an innovative way, um, having a disciplined way of communicating to yourself and developing that self-care menu is going to be amazing. Now, if you want a video on self-care menu, let me know. I will be happy to create a video on that, because I personally do have a self-love menu that I go to all the time whenever I need to boost myself up in regards to my own love energy. So those would be my tips in regards to this transit of the sun and being in conjunct in Saturn with the zodiac sign of Aquarius. So overall, the energy with this astrology really is setting the tone about how we are balancing out our own growth with a collective collection. We have a lot of zodiac signs in the sign of Aquarius. We have a lot of energy that's really saying, how can we grow within ourselves that helps promote this out to other people that we love? The more we take care of ourselves, the more that we're able to build and create and do the things that we really truly desire. And so just a little bit of reminder, Venus in Aquarius is really helping us really to remember our own individuality within our relationships. Meanwhile, the full moon and the new moon are going to really encourage us to really build upon our own healing, emotional, and long-term stability. Not to mention that Sun conjunct in Saturn is really going to help push us to stay focused and have that discipline to really step forward into our different communities as well. Remember to build upon purpose and to connect to your community. Let go of fucking baggage, especially the emotional baggages that just are not setting well with you anymore. And then reshift that focus into things of how you can take care of yourself. The third thing I really want you to do is really creating or embracing a community while also amplifying your authenticity. These are going to be great ways for you to really connect and build during this month of February. Now let's go ahead and check out the tarot, the energy for the month of February. Now I'm going to keep this short. I'm not going to keep this as a long reading. I just want you to see what the cards are really saying energetically for the month of February. So with that being said, before we get started though, I would love for you guys to take some deep breaths. If you know, you know. If you're one of my clients, I like for my clients to start off with some deep breaths just so that you are feeling centered and not feeling that anxious feeling. So please go ahead and take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Deep breath in And deep breath out. Deep breath in and out. Okay, with that being said, what is the energy for this transits during the month of February? What is the energy? What is the energy? Thank you. Her. We have the Seven of Pentacles, bro. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and then we also have the Tower here. Now, if you watch the astrology transit, then you kind of already get the vibe of what is going on here right now. But honestly, what I am feeling and sensing from this alone, just from this alone, is let it burn. Let things go. Let things be. Especially if we're entering in from the month of January. And I'm filming this on January 18th. This means the next day TikTok is getting banned. That means the day after that, orange motherfucker is about to be in our presidency, right? So the month of January is going to be a very chaotic energy to where it's going to require all of us to kind of sit there and say, we got to jump, we got to let it go, we got to figure it out, we got to move on, we got to be able to take our losses but also understand our wins from that situation. And this energy is really saying, like, let it be, man. Like, it happened, it's happening, it's for our betterment. Like, this is happening for our betterment, and it may not feel in sense that it is for our betterment, but it is, because we're humans, and in the present moment our mind is so focused on what happened, why it's not working out. I have to now remove myself, or this is such a dramatic, traumatic thing that now I don't know what else to do. The thing is that we do know what to do. But it takes us time. It's going to take us to really sense that. It's going to take us to really process what we just went through, right? So whatever this is that you've experienced in the month of January, it is for a reason. And even if it's the TikTok ban, even if it's the orange motherfucker, family members, political, your business, certain things are required of us to kind of reshift the way that we're thinking and viewing ourselves in our current reality, in our space, because it wasn't meant for us. Like, when I see the Tower card, it really is saying, like, it was meant for us, but it wasn't meant for us. You know what I mean? If it was meant for us, it wouldn't be coming down. It literally wouldn't be struck with a fucking lightning bolt. It wouldn't literally be on fire. Bitches wouldn't be trying to get out of the motherfucking thing by jumping out the fucking window. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be that dramatic. So if it's that dramatic and it comes in so fast and it's kind of hitting you hard, it's for a reason. You just got to take a look outside of it from what you're feeling and thinking and seeing it for a different perspective. What about this thing needs to come down, and how can I move forward from that? And that's where the card that you guys got comes in. It's the Seven of Pentacles. It is the hard work. We've been talking about Capricorn and that energy of just tangible and really working towards something. This is that same type of energy. This is more Virgo energy of really taking those seeds that you planted with Taurus from the earth energy of tarot, and you're really saying, I'm creating something from this, and I'm really going to take my time and plan and articulate through those to really create it. Now, this kind of is giving back to Mercury and Capricorn that we talked about in that transit. So it really is saying, like, what can I do? What are the steps? What are the small things that I can do right now that are going to help alleviate or get me closer to that long-term goal? So regardless of what this may be, how can I then take that and heal? How can I take that and build? How can I take that and restructurize? How can I take that and regarden myself? Take care of myself. Be gentle on myself. How can I develop and redevelop or reestablish some things in my life that's going to help build? So it really is saying a lot for this energy for the month of February. If that's the energy, can I get the advice? What is the advice for my collective watching this video? Yes or no? You know what? It's not funny, but it is funny. This card fell out when I picked up the deck. I don't know if you saw it because of the way that the camera is, but this card came out. And I put it back on, and then I shuffled and it came back out again. So clearly this is the card. This is the Four of Wands. Your advice is to pursue, to be happy, to think about your happiness. You may be seeing 1-1 or 1111 more often. That's just going to be your own universal family, your ancestors telling you that you are on the right path to what is going to help fill you, to make you feel happy. This could also mean that the relationships that you are connecting to, because we talked about that in the transit video, in the transit section. We talked about in the astrology section about how your relationships may possibly grow and how they may develop into a more deeper sense with Venus entering in. So I would honestly say, take your time. Love on yourself. Think about your stability. Think about your next move. Think about what makes you feel home, your security. It is kind of also making me think about the fourth house, especially since we do have the full moon in Cancer coming up. That we talked about that too. So there is this sense of like the number 4, checking out your fourth house. How is your relationship with yourself, your mother as well? How the relationship with your partner? Is there a healthy feminine emotional bonding relationship? And then also, how can you grow from this? What is the things that you want? What is the stability? What is the feeling that you're getting? I don't know why, but I'm getting like the square, and how the square has a 4, and that's also stability. So take that as it resonates. I didn't even see you was at the bottom of the deck, but come on though, we have the Queen of Wands here at the bottom. This is literally with the 4 of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Take action. Be fearless. Don't let the past or other people dictate how you move forward. Love on yourself. Be creative. Unapologetically. Be happy. Don't let stress or other people's projections fuck with you. This is your guys' advice. Good things are coming in. You establish this type of archetype, this archetype that doesn't take shit, that does what she wants, that is creative, that is abundance, and that allows her radiance exclude to other people. So I think that's very beautiful. So that is your tarot card energy for the month of February. Now let's go ahead and check out the different types of rituals you can do within the month of February. So now that we have our astrology insights, we've also just went through our tarot guidance. Now let's go ahead and develop and create a more aligned energy utilizing some rituals for you this month of February. Now, if you don't know, I am a girly, I am a witchy, I am a baddie, I am someone who does utilize the elements around me. This is something that I was taught by my own spiritual family, to tap into elemental magic and allow yourself to really establish your workings in different ways. The elements go to so many different things that are here on this earth, and it's going to resonate with who it wants to resonate with. On top of that, I just want to also say that you can utilize these rituals in the elements related to your zodiac sign. So say, for instance, I'm a Scorpio. I can utilize the water ritual or the water element to really connect to my Scorpio energy. If you're Leo, fire, Libra, air, and we've been talking about Capricorn, so that would be earth energy, okay? So elemental magic, or elements in general, is just really tapping into that elemental magic, but there's different ways and nuances that you can connect and bridge them so that your spiritual practice, your self-care menu has different ways to really connect to yourself. And it's not just a basic like writing. You're intentional with how you're connecting and being in your rituals. Now, talking about fire magic, or just fire elementals, is probably one of my favorites, just because fire is fast, it's rapid, it's fun, it's creative, and it really does allow yourself to really tap in. Now, I love doing candle magic. A lot of people may not want to do candle magic, but honestly, I kind of feel like if you're going to be releasing anything, in the month of February, I would love for you guys to try candle magic. Now, candle magic actually also contributes to air elemental magic, because there is that air when it comes to the fire, when you have to blow it out. There's also additional things that you can go into that aspect, but we are not there yet. We're not there yet. So first off, let's do fire elemental candle magic. This can be related to the full moon. It can be related to anything, honestly, that you really want to let go and remove from your thought processes or emotional thought processes. You can grab a red or orange candle, a piece of paper, and a pen. Write down the things that you don't want to have anymore. Really speak those things in with intention. Write it, sign it, date it too. This is just like a basic petition that you guys can do. Wrap that up. You can also write your name on the candle, any sigils. You could put fire related herbs on the candle, as well as fire related oils on the candle. There's so many ways that you can do this candle magic, but just to keep it simple, right? You just need a candle, a piece of paper, a pen, write down your intentions. You're going to then light the candle. You're going to burn the paper safely. You can grab something like this that can go into there. You can burn it outside. I don't know where you live, baby, but just be sure that you are safe about it. And then as the paper is literally burning, you want to continue on with those intentions and thoughts and affirmations of like, I'm letting this go. It no longer fits me. It's no longer a part of my life. As that thing is burning, the energy that would have hold me is also being burned away. And then I personally, after all of that, I like to take the ashes and let the air, like I take it outside and let the air, the wind, I'm letting another element take that and whisk it away. Okay. In regards to also the candle, let the candle burn all the way through. Obviously, you don't have to soothe it out. But I think if you are going to do it, make sure that it's in a safe space and use your breath to sit there and say, like, I let it go. You know what I mean? Words are spells, so just really be able to communicate that. Ritual number 2 would be in the element of water. Now, with us having a full moon in Cancer, that's a double whammy of fucking water, bro. So honestly, I would like for you guys to do a cleansing water spell. Now, this cleansing thing can happen in your bath. It could literally be you drinking the water. It could be you going to a body of water. But honestly, this is a cleansing ritual. I want you to utilize water to help cleanse you. The same way that Jesus will baptize, you're going to also do the same thing to yourself, okay? You're going to cleanse yourself. You're just going to need a bowl of water. You're also going to need a pinch of sea salt, okay? In this pinch of sea salt, you can also add in additional to some lavender, some roses. Now, this could be the actual thing, or it could be the essence of essential oil as well. But lavender is very beautiful for calming. It's also related to the moon, and so is the roses. And so fresh petals. You can also dry the petals too and put them in the water. I don't know how you want to do it. You can also utilize all of that and put that in the tub. It doesn't have to be in a bowl, but it can also be in a form of a tub where you lay in it and you're cleansing yourself. The salt obviously is for purities, for cleansing. And so what you're going to do is stir the water clockwise. Okay, you're going to stir the water clockwise and you're going to visualize the emotional release that you're getting from it. You're going to emotionally just connect to that water with your intentions and your words and your energy, because your hands and everything is energy. So everything that you're touching within this is energy. So if you're taking the water and you're sitting here saying like, I want this water to cleanse me. I'm setting the intentions for this water to cleanse me, to bless me, to have my ancestors help me feel more centered, to allow my spiritual sense to let go, to allow that Cancer energy that may be in your astrology and say, my Cancer is in my second house and I need to release the emotional aspects about my communication regarding blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's just so many different ways that you can connect and build your magic in regards to this water cleansing ritual. But then once you're done setting an intention and you feel good about it, that's when you're going to start taking that water and start pulling it, pushing it into your face, pushing it into your hands. You're going to be sprinkling it all over your body. You're basically going to be cleansing yourself. You know what I mean? You're going to be cleansing yourself with this water. So this water is going to help remove those emotional things that you are going through, you're experiencing, and it's going to help you really connect to that element of water. Okay, so we talked about fire and water. Let's now get into air. Now, air element to me is like magnifique, just because there's so many different ways that you can use air element magic, but we're going to be focusing on manifesting. And so we have a new moon in Capricorn, and I really want you guys to set the tone, as well as since we have Mercury going into Capricorn, I want you guys to set the tone in regards to what you want and how you want to do it. Think about it. I want you guys to think about it. I want you guys to get a piece of paper and set new intentions. And those new intentions could be one thing. It could be three things. It could be just, a short-term goal that's going to help you with your long-term goal. But I need you guys to have a manifestation letter. And this letter really is going to be another petition like we did in the fire magic. But the only difference between this is that we're not releasing, we're actually embracing and asking something to come into our life. And so if we're asking something, God, divine, the universe, to bring in this abundance, we need to think about how it is going to emotionally make us happy. Let me repeat, you need to think about how it's going to emotionally make you happy. Just because you think about having $1 million in your pocket doesn't mean that you're going to have $1 million in your pocket. You need to think about how emotionally that $1,000,000 is going to make you happy in your pocket. If that $1,000 is going to help set the tone for you paying your rent for the next couple months, how would that make you feel emotionally? That is what you're manifesting. You're not manifesting money. You're manifesting the emotion that it's going to bring you. So if it's $1,000, I'm going to be writing down in my manifestation letter, like, I am so thankful and grateful that that extra $1,000 able to set me up for success, for me to put more money or reinvest in myself in regards to my business. I'm going to feel so ecstatic to the fact that I can start purchasing my own cups, purchasing the labels, purchasing my domain name. I'm actually putting money towards my investment. So that money is going to help elevate. It's going to help bring in more abundance just by me reinvesting. That's the emotional feeling. I'm feeling geeked. I'm feeling professional. I'm feeling like I'm aligned. This money is amplifying this manifestation for me. So it's not about the thoughts. It is, you're thinking about what you want, but it's in relation to the emotion of how it is. When you find out that emotion, that's what you need to put in your manifestation letter. That's what you need to be writing down. That's what you need to then have new affirmations for, setting new intentions on as you're asking the new moon in Capricorn to bring this new energy into you. Now, adding more into this, sprinkling in, right? You can add a candle, right? You can use incense in the form of creating or utilizing air. Your words are spells. These things that are coming out of my mouth, that's elemental air magic, right? So I could literally just sit there and say, write a letter to the universe, and I'm going to sit there and like seal it with gratitude, let it go. I'm letting it be what it may be. And then I'll burn some incense and I'll meditate on it. That's another air element. Meditation, mind, anything related to the mind, air element. Okay. So in regards to, again, if we're writing down our manifestation letter and we're sealing it up, we're putting in an envelope, we're literally giving it the gratitude of saying, thank you so much for everything that this is receiving and giving into me. And then what you can do after that is basically continue to set intentions and saying, this is what I'm doing, and burn the incense and meditate on that. Meditate on the energy of what you just wrote down. Boom. Air element completed. You just got your ritual right there, baby. Now, let's go ahead and dive into our last element, which is going to be earth energy. Now, earth energy, the earth element, this is something that maybe a lot of people don't really like, or it's a little hard to do. And the main one, I'm going to just say, yes, you guessed it correctly, fam. I'm going to sit there and say that you meditate. Now, I'm going to put a little spin on this meditation because I've talked about numerous ways for you guys to meditate, different types of meditations, and how to really build and connect that meditations, okay? If you are someone who partakes in the green, if you smoke and you need to relax a little bit, this is a perfect time for you to grab your said greenery, place it in your left hand, because your left hand is your feminine energy, and we're about to ground, we're about to connect, we're about to allow certain things to come in, right? So we are going to go ahead and put the greenery in our left hand. We're going to use that feminine energy. We're going to cover it up with our right, and we're just going to speak the air element into that greenery and say, this is what I'm asking you to do. When I grind you, as I'm lighting you up, you are going to help amplify this energy for me. I need to be grounded. I need to connect meditation wise. And so help me with that. So as you're grinding it, packing it up, you're still saying and speaking that energy into your herb so that you can then smoke it, connect to it, and ground. In addition to that, to reconnecting and utilizing the earth energy, right? You can use certain crystals, and there's a plethora of crystals that you can use that are related to the mind, which is the air element. You can also do crystals that are related to the earth element, also to anything that you're trying to connect to. If it's your emotions, you can add that crystal too, okay? You can light up an incense and just let that energy go after you burn, blah, da, da, da. And I would love for you guys to like at least meditate for 20 minutes, bro. That's it. That's all you really need to do. You don't really need a lot to ground and to set the tone for yourself. So I think when we're in that period of manifesting and we're in the new moon of energy of Capricorn, this would be a great time for you to utilize this earth element and just ground. Use Mother Nature, literally, to connect to yourself so that you can have the answers or to allow those answers to find you finally from a subconscious level, not so much a conscious level. So, that is going to be the different types of rituals that you guys can do for the month of February. Now we're at my favorite part, which is basically the self-care rituals. Again, you guys know that I'm always going to be the baddie that's going to be showing you guys how to really tap into your self-care. Period, point blank. I'm always going to be the advocate. I'm always going to push you to focus on yourself, regardless of who's in the space for you. Okay. So this practice that I really want you guys to embrace during this month of February is really opening your heart. I know it sounds a little cliche because it is Valentine's Day month and it's all about the love and blah, blah, blah. But I really, because we are in a sense of that Venus energy entering in the sign of Aquarius, that individuality within a relationship is still very much important. And if you lose yourself in regards into a relationship, it's kind of hard to re-find yourself in those ways. And if you are leaving or coming out of a relationship and you're having to redirect and find yourself, it's kind of hard to do that. And so I thought for the month of February, one of the best practices that you can do, that self-care practice, that self-love practice, is to really connect to your own heart. And so one of the easiest and best ways that I want you to do is just get comfortable however you are. I want you to crisscross applesauce, sit down in a normal chair, get your pillow, whatever you need to do. I want you to get cozy. And as you're getting cozy, I need you guys to just start doing some deep breaths. Now, one of the deep breaths that I have able to learn from my own therapist is doing the square method. And I talked about this a couple times, but the square method is that you're breathing in for 4, you're then holding for 4, and then you're exhaling for 4. And you're going to be doing this every single time to make a square. By the time you make a square in your third mind, you are already going to be really centered and really balanced, and you're up here, the thoughts are already dissipated. Um, as you are doing the deep breath exercises, I really want you to put your left hand on top of your heart. Again, the left hand is the feminine hand, and so we want to really emotionally connect to that energy of you. Now, because the heart space is green through the chakras, I want you guys to, as you're doing those deep breaths and you're putting your hand here, to really sense that chakra, to sense where your heart space is, how you're feeling. Does it feel heavy? Does it feel open? Does it feel vulnerable? Does it feel honest? Does it feel loved? Right? Like, does your heart space feel that? Do you feel anything? Does any emotions come up to you as you're just simply putting your hands on your heart and breathing? How do you feel? As you're allowing yourself to kind of feel yourself and your whatever's coming up for you, I want you to replace or provide certain words that are like, I am in love with myself. I truly am thankful and grateful for how and where I am for today, that I embrace myself fully. The good, the bad, the ugly, the gray, all that. I am here and I love myself. I am daily, I am taking I am looking at myself on a daily measure and seeing how beautiful and rare that I am. Take account of how unique you are, especially with Venus becoming into Aquarius. That uniqueness, that weirdness, that is a part of you. That is your essence. That is your je ne sais quoi. So, like, the more that you are tapping into that je ne sais quoi and loving that and feeling connected to that, the more you're going to amplify your own healthy love for self. And that is going to be your like self-care, self-love type of practice that I want you guys to do for this month, especially in those moments where you don't feel that and you're feeling a little low. I need you guys to take a moment to reassess who you are and feel and give yourself some love back. Now, it wouldn't be a video if I didn't provide any form of journal prompts for you. So on top of the self-love activity, I am going to give you guys some journaling tips, or I am going to give you guys some journaling prompts so that you guys can tap into yourselves a little bit more deeper during this month of February. If you have gone through this whole video, then you've already know there's a lot going on. Astrology wise, it's going to hit us humans down below pretty harshly. Not harshly, but in an intense way. And so the first question that I have for you guys is, What emotional patterns have come up for you? And these emotional patterns can be in the form of like people, yourself. Maybe you're realizing you have an anxious attachment style. Maybe you're realizing that you do a lot of avoidance. You are emotionally not there. You cut people off. Very hyper independent. I'm saying all these things as if I'm not talking about myself, okay? So, yes, there's a lot of things that you can be noticing. And so, one of those questions that I like or I think is going to help benefit you is what are those emotional patterns that you're starting to notice? Number two, since we're going to be in a lot of energies of Aquarius, it's how can we embrace that authenticity? How can we embrace that fluidity of not being afraid and having more courage to be ourselves? What does that mean to really encourage and be myself? Do I even know how to do that? These are great questions to ask yourself for the month of February. Number three, where in my life do I need to set more boundaries and protect myself? Now, this one's a little bit different just because where my mindset was when I wrote that down for you is with the full moon in Cancer and with the Sun conjunct Saturn, there's going to be a lot of push and pull that is going to be related to not only your self-improvement, but then also how you feel about yourself emotionally. And within those boundaries, how are you protecting yourself from people that don't really care? And how are you vocalizing things that so that you are protecting yourself if you don't have that? This is a great way for you to kind of tap in and say, these are the boundaries that I need to start moving forward on. This is how I protect my energy. This is how I allow myself to be free from the things from the past so that I can start to move forward in a better mindset. This is just a great way to kind of connect it. And the fourth question that I have for you guys is what self-love practices make me feel most connected to myself? And I've talked about self-care, self-love, activities, how you could tap in for your rising sign, your Venus sign. All those videos are down below. You know what I mean? So at some point right now, you should know the difference between self-love and self-care. And how can you then utilize those practices to amplify self-love? Self-care just amplifies self-love. So what self-care practices are you doing to ensure that your self-love practice is up, is on fire, is in tune? So those are my 4 questions that I have for you on top of the self-love activity that I have for the month of February. With that all being said, family, thank you so much for watching and listening. I hope that everything that I provided today, all the guidance in regarding to the astrology insights, the tarot card reading, the elemental magic that you could be doing for rituals, the different types of journal questions, as well as the self-care practice, that all of these 5 things are going to help set the tone for you for the month of February. Please let me know down in the comments below what was most intriguing to you, what did you learn most, and what do you plan on implementing moving forward in regards to the month of February. Also, if you know anyone that would like to learn more about this, please do. Send this to them. Let them know that this is where they can come for more self-love and astrology and just spiritual guidance and help. I appreciate you guys being so thoughtful and thankful of my producing content. I do just want to quickly say that I was told to take a break from my own ancestors and spiritual guides. Even though I have all these videos and things to push out to you guys, I understand why they asked me to put a pause on things and allow myself to just be present. I think for myself for the year 2025, my goal that I have is just to be having a more easier year than me feeling like I have to catch up or do extra and do more to survive in this world. There's a lot of things that I am grateful for and thankful for that doesn't require me to do that anymore. And so as I entered in this year, I really have been shifting on how I can provide and still be a guide for you guys without feeling like the draining that it comes with the other side of that, which is editing, posting on content. It's the masculine things, honestly, that makes me want to not do it. I love connecting and building and creating for you guys and doing videos just like this. But at the same time, the masculine things of editing and all that, that's the things I just really just don't really fucking care to deal with. And I don't want to deal with, which is my delay and my frustration and my own turn things of like how I don't want to do it. So I know for me, at least the best way that I've been able to come to a conclusion is like, well, instead of me doing a monthly or a weekly 2 times a week video push out. Maybe my way of doing it is like a monthly kind of transit for you guys where it combines everything in between. And if I have time to share my lifestyle or food recipe or whatever, I will do so. But I do want to advise that I'm gonna probably do this for a month, as you know, month does go on, because it feels pretty good to doing this right now. But also at the same time, I'm probably going to be more on Instagram and just posting on there and giving out more additional help. So with TikTok being gone and everything being changing, please make sure that you guys are following me in some capacity that feels good to you guys. If it's not on here, maybe it's on Instagram, and maybe it's not on either, but you just check in once in time. That's quite all right as well. Regardless, though, this is just a long fucking winded way for me to sit there and say that I fucking love you guys. And I appreciate you so much for just being in tune and open to me. And so, with that all being said, I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up though, share this, and I love you guys, and I'll see you at our next video. Bye, guys.